let's get you set up on the new V2 Giggletech software. Let's get started. Head over to the GitHub, link in giggletech.io, download the latest version, go ahead, extract that, and open up the Giggletech software, giggletech.exe. If your Giggletech has not been set up before, grab your device, let's put it into setup mode, power cycle it twice until that LED is solid, grab your phone, open up the Wi-Fi called Giggletech Haptics, enter in the password, and the password is Giggletech. Go to configuration, select your Wi-Fi point, enter your password, and hit save. If successful, your device will restart and buzz 3 times, letting you know it's on your network. Now we have a device connected to our network. Let's go ahead and search for the IP using this button. Now, if all is successful, it will show a nice new IP and device status online success. Now go ahead and play around with that slider and give it a test. You will feel the vibration, your puck will come to life. Now, if you have more than one device, remember to set up one at a time. So just plug in one, discover the IP, disconnect it, and then do it again for your other device. If you are using other OSC programs like face tracking, you will need to use OSC Query. Make sure you install the Giggletech OSC Query installer. It is in the same download you got next to your Giggletech Software XE. Install that, follow the prompts, and then enable it by pressing the OSC button down the bottom and click Save. The Giggletech software always needs to be running for your devices to work. That's why I always start it with Windows, click that button, hit Save, so it's always available for your Headpats. The software will close to your system tray, so it's always there ready for you. The biggest change for this new V2 software is that you do not need to edit any config files. It's done all here in the UI. The most important one to note is your proximity parameter. It's the one that sits on your head and allows VR chat to communicate with the Giggletech software. Make sure the names match up with your Unity project. If you change the name, make sure to hit save. There's a whole video on how to set up your Unity project with the Giggletech colliders on the website. Be sure to check that out. All right, let's dive into it and explore the new Giggletech V2 software. But first, I need to do a costume change. There we go. I want to turn on all my contact points so you can see exactly what's going on when we use our haptics. We can see our nice little contact point here. My other one's got too many lights and stuff onto it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, we've got our lap lizard here. I'll make sure to put the link into it so you can easily jump into VR and test. This one has got its contact points all set up, ready for you. Now, if you don't want to mess around with these settings and just jump in VR and get your headpats, I have left all the default settings to my preferences, but I want to geek out. Let me info dump and show you exactly all what these sliders do and how they work. Hell yeah. Let's have a look at this software here. Now, first things, I'm in VR mode. It's too small on the normal mode, but you can use it on desktop. Good for that. Done. Hell yeah. First thing is we're going to adjust our power settings. So we jump down here. Now I like mine on 25%, but you can crank that all the way up and rattle your brain to pieces. Hell yeah. We can also adjust this in game, but to do that, we have to make sure we have our max speed setting parameter and you've got it set up on your avatar because we can do this. So we can tweak it on the fly. If we want to like chill out, watch some movies, easy, hell yeah. So that's our power settings. We'll set that to 25%. It's a nice little baseline figure. Done, that is our power. All right, now I'm gonna turn on this visualizer to make it easier to see exactly what's going on with our haptics. So as we enter our zone, we can see it activating here. This is our motor graph, so we can see exactly what's going on. And up here is exactly where our touch points are happening. Now you can see we're not really my hand's on my head, and we're not really activating in the center here because our contact zone is a sphere. So unless there's something, I don't know, something poking right into the brain through the ear or something, I wouldn't have, we can adjust that to make sure it responds exactly to our liking. Now you can see we're getting higher activation, just still at this sort of 3/4 mark. So it's allowing us to access the full range of our device. So we can, if we bring that out, you can see it maxes out in this sort of inner zone here and scales down in this outside area. So we can shrink that down so we have a nice range. Same thing for the outer zone. If you've made your collider much bigger, we can tweak that down in game so you don't have to play around in Unity. You can tweak it all here. Done. That is our collider adjustment. Now let's go check out our Headpat mode. In the normal mode, as we enter the space, it turns on our motor. As we go down, turns it off. Nice for a head massage, but if we want a more head-patty experience, let's go ahead and turn that on. So if someone comes ahead and starts giving us head pats, we're getting a little nudge, a little vibration. So when someone stays on our head, it doesn't stay on, and as we're stroking the head, we're getting a nice feedback response, and we can change all these settings. Oh my God, don't be intimidated. I'm going to run you through how all these settings work so you can tweak your head pats. The Headpat mode works by converting our proximity into velocity. So it measures actually how fast someone moves through our zone. So when we're going at a very slow speed, we get a small response. And when we're going fast, we get a big response. We're going to start by talking about sensitivity here. Now, if we crank that sensitivity way up, it's going to a little bit of velocity is a lot of motor. See, only a little bit of movement, a little bit of velocity is showing a big response. Now, let's have a look at the damping setting. So right now, if someone wants to annoy us and bash our head, it's going to respond to every movement without question. We can still get our slow head pats, but if someone wants to come in and start messing with us, or someone runs to our headspace when we're watching a movie, we can cut that out by increasing our damping. At 70%, we can still receive our head pats. We want to chill out and vibe, but if someone's messing with us, it can cut all that out. So we can really clamp that down. So it requires a lot of speed to activate, but down slow, it still activates. Now let's have a look at the smoothing setting. What that does is average over this period of time how much the motor responds, because when it's a raw value, you can see it's jittery all over the place. That is just the nature of the interactions, because there's so much data and so many little fluctuations, it's going to show it here. So we want to average all that out so we get a more smooth response. Now let's have a look at our final setting, vibrate on pull away. Right now it's off and it only reacts to velocity going in. So when my head pad activates, it goes in like that. Now, if we turn this on, it's going to react both ways. Like so. So someone's can do this. Now I leave that off because it adds a nice little sort of gap in between the head pats. So have a play around with that and see what you like. And that's our head pat mode. We can shrink that down, but that's all these settings. We can turn on the console if we want and see stuff there. And that is our Giggletech software. And that's the Giggletech V2 router getting you up and running. Hell yes. Now, if you have any questions or any challenges, head over to the Giggletech Discord and we'll get you sorted in no time. And that's it. I'll see you around. Catch ya.